Namaste.
Hi guys, we're in Pokhara, Nepal.
It is our week 16, which means we've already completed 4 months, 1/3 of our journey.
Yeah, so our trip started coming to Pokhara. We took a 7-hour bus ride, but it was great. We got to do some hiking here. That was one of the main draws to this area. So it's the Annapurna mountain range. So we did like a 1 day hike. It was several hours, and it
You
was
start by
yeah,
going to Australian base camp,
yep,
and you're
and
supposed to be able to see the mountains, but
it was pretty cloudy, so we weren't able to see it.
yeah.
So it was a beautiful hike. We got to see
Mhm.
a lot of different farmland, valleys,
Mhm.
and the beginning of the mountain range, but we didn't get to see behind like the big peaks and
Yeah.
with the snow on top of them or anything like that. But it was still quite beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've just been taking in the nature. It's a very different change of scenery compared to Kathmandu, and we just see a lot of wildlife roaming around. We saw some wild monkeys. We
Yeah.
saw, goats, sheep,
Yeah.
cows, buffalo, just everywhere. And actually, there was one time where I was. We were both in our line of path. There were a group of goats. And Ashton said, "Oh, Kim, be careful with that white one because it's very aggressive. It was picking fights with the other ones."
And it was the little one too. It wasn't even the biggest of the bunch.
Yeah. So I'm photographing it, of course, like a regular tourist. And then it started charging at me.
So Kim kept retreating, and I completely lost sight of her because she went around the building.
The goats were between
Hmm.
us. So I just kept, yeah, retreating to the mountains
So
and
yeah,
until these children came to my rescue.
yeah. So one of them had a stick because they knew, I guess, that this is the goat area, and just pushed it along so Kim could get around.
Yeah, so I was saying thank you, and then I heard someone from a tree directly above me say, "Namaste!" And it was this child dangling down. He must have been laughing his butt off
Watching
just
the whole
watching the
scene.
whole thing.
Yeah,
White girl doesn't know what to do with goats.
yeah, exactly. So what else?
Oh, and I was also going to mention
Yeah.
that Ashton on our trek, he got attacked by leeches.
Oh yeah.
They're small little suckers
Hmm.
and thin, and they
Especially
just
because yeah.
they spin around trying to latch on
Yeah,
to
and it was very
shoes and
damp,
stuff.
and I guess because it being very damp and just where they're located, I've never seen leeches on a mountain, but that's where they were, and they just, yeah, as Kim said, would hop up onto your shoes and
Mhm.
slowly make a beeline for your skin.
So he felt something
Yeah,
and said, "I need to check my shoes." And I thought, okay, that's an overreaction. But then, sure enough, there was a leech there.
yeah.
It's harmless. We looked it up. We asked people about it.
Hmm.
Completely harmless. But yeah, we found those on our trek too.
Yeah. And so one thing we struggled with here the past couple days is with our stomachs, the water, I guess. And we've been using bottled, somewhat filtered water, but our friend told us even the bottled water here,
Needs to be filtered a few times.
yeah. And so, I mean, we gave it a go, but we've just been avoiding water for the past couple days. And our stomachs have, they're much better now.
This water is very deceiving. It's beautiful.
Hmm.
Some people hop in the lake, usually the locals,
The rare person.
the rare tourist,
Yeah.
but we were advised not to
Yeah, and
go
we,
in the
we asked
water.
like, "Oh, do you swim in it?" And people are like, "No."
No.
Yeah, which is a shame because it's extremely beautiful.
Big tease.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we were recovering from that, and in Canada, I never drink Sprite or any kind of those sugar beverages, but unfortunately, that's what we've resolved to do,
That's
just
what
to
we're
have
stuck with.
our stomach settle, and we kind of took a break from water, and we're feeling much better now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next up, the hotel.
Oh, yeah. So, some time for some shameless promotion here. We're staying with a wonderful couple. And so, if anyone's ever interested in going to Nepal and specifically to Pokhara, we definitely recommend this place. It's a wonderful couple. The wife, she's a school teacher. The husband, he's a farmer. He does everything organically, has rice fields. He takes a lot of care of everything that he does. He's very careful to, or pays close attention to details.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
called the Green Hills
Hmm.
Hotel. And so, as Kim was saying, he really focuses, is very disciplined with organic food.
Hmm.
Um, Anything from fruits to the vegetables that we've been eating at their place. It's been really delicious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're just such a wonderful couple, so we'd highly recommend it if you're interested.
Hmm.
And we've been meeting some good guests, some other guests there too.
Yeah, so one person we met, he was actually climbing Everest. So it was the first time we've met someone that had just recently attempted it. He was very close. He was at over 7,000 meters, but unfortunately, he did get altitude sickness.
I don't remember
Yeah.
the exact term, but it was major brain swelling and he had to be rushed to the hospital actually.
Yeah, so it was really
Hmm.
unfortunate because he was just a couple more days to the summit. He had already been acclimatizing to that around the 7,000
Hmm.
meter mark, but because he got really sick, they had to get him down right away, and so he was in the hospital for a few days.
And I
Really
mean,
interesting story hearing it
he,
from him.
he trained for 6 years to climb it. 6 years, and just in an instant, it's all over, right? So it was great talking with him, I think.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's a shame he wasn't able to do it, but he did say his friends who he was trying to summit with were able to complete it. So he was pretty sick. They had to send him back to Kathmandu, and from there he was in the hospital, but now he's recovering, and it's nice to hear he's doing well. And you know what? We're really happy to hear that
And he's training for next
he's going to
year.
try it again, which I think that's great for him. Like great mentality to
Yeah.
something he's always wanted to do to go accomplish his goal.
I think that's about everything. We have to go because our faces are melting off. It is so hot here.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.